Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Kay straight Josh Cohenancy. Same sort of greeting to you again, but just asking how you all are today. It's always a gift to be a citizen of the state of New Mexico, resident of the city of Albuquerque, to be able to look out these beautiful windows here at the Pottery Room at the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center and to see the Sandia mountain range. When you look at those mountains and you look up and down the valley, you think of all the citizens of our state that live far north and far south this time of the year, with the changes that are going on in the administrations among the Pueblo communities and other tribal communities. You can't help but think and pray for good, that they may achieve success in their own communities. And we do the same here, of course, for our cherished Mayor, Richard Berry, and the council here in the city of Albuquerque. So we feel the same way every time we take a look out the windows, all of those things come to mind. And as we say our prayers in the morning, we think of everyone, mayor and governors, and especially people like the chair of the All Pueblo Council of Governors, E. Paul Torres here, who just finished a term as the governor of the Pueblo of Isleta. So thank you, Governor, for your continued leadership. We cherish that. We appreciate all your efforts, and we ask that our Creator bless you and your family as you make this transition. So, who am I? Right? I'm standing up here, haven't introduced myself yet. My name is Ron Solomon. I'm a member and chair of the Commission of the City of Albuquerque Commission on Indian Affairs. I'm privileged to be in that role. I'm a person whose family moved into the city of Albuquerque in 1964. I graduated from West Mesa High School, went to New Mexico State University, and went to the College of Law here at the University of New Mexico. So that's a little bit of my background. I've been here except for any kind of clerkships or internships for that duration of time. So I won't try to add up the years because it's an awful lot of time. But I want to just say to the mayor and you as fellow citizens of the city of Albuquerque, on behalf of our commission, and my colleagues have been seated for that, have been asked to fulfill this role, let me express our appreciation for this opportunity, Mayor Berry, and also then to the City Council for being asked to serve in these positions. Members of the commission that are here today with us include Laura Uyaki, sitting on the left here. She is from Cochiti, Zuni, and the Diné Nation. Next to her is Dr. Lloyd Lee, a professor at UNM. He is Navajo. Will writing in is from Santa Ana Pueblo and also a member of the Pawnee Nation. And then next to him is Mike Canfield, who is a member of the Pueblo of Laguna and the president and CEO of the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center. He is also our host today, so thank you, Mike, for hosting us. This is a great room, the Pottery Room, again here at the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center. We're pleased to be here. And we also work closely with Ms. Dawn Begay. She is the city tribal liaison. Dawn, if you would wave. She does an excellent job helping us, and we've just gotten started, so we're getting to know one another. As citizens and members of our respective tribal communities, the state of New Mexico, and as residents of the city of Albuquerque, we embrace and accept the role that's codified in City Ordinance 2-2-6-6-1. I think I got that right, or maybe wrong. But anyway, it's codified in the city's laws and statutes to serve as advocates of Indian affairs, to investigate, study, and consider the subject of Indian conditions within the city of Albuquerque, including but not limited to matters of employment, education, economy, health, environment, government, and access to services. And further, to act as a liaison between the city and the Indian community in order to bring Indian concerns to the city's attention. In order to effectuate this whole process that's identified in the city ordinance, we've gone about a process of getting acquainted with the city's departments. So we chose 6 that we felt were paramount, that we needed to get acquainted with very quickly. So we've had the privilege of meeting with the Family and Community Services Department and Senior Affairs so far. So on deck, we have Parks and Recreation, Transit, Cultural Services, and APD. The purpose of these meetings is to become better acquainted with how services are provided to the Native American community here in the city by these departments, to understand what kind of challenges these departments face, to understand how data is collected with regard to provision of services to the Native American community, and then basically just to understand overall what the process is for being an advocate or being a liaison for the city and for our tribal communities, members of tribal communities that live here in the city of Albuquerque that are residents here. So we look forward to executing this responsibility on behalf of the city, on behalf of the Native communities that are resident here. And we know that based on the data that we've seen, that there are tribal communities from all over the country that reside here in the city. And it's because our city is really recognized as a friendly city, and that's why people move here from different parts of the country. And so how we accommodate the needs that they express to us is subject of our role, and then to provide effective liaison back to the city in regard to provision of services and any other concerns that we have. So Mayor Berry, it's an honor to fulfill this role, and I'd like to turn this podium over to you. And I don't know if you're going to swear us in or whatever. I'm prepared to do whatever you need to do.
Just swear.
But just want to say again, thank you to my colleagues here that have agreed to serve on the Commission on Indian Affairs, and then also thank the City of Albuquerque and Mayor Berry for this appointment. Mayor Berry.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you.
I just want to start off this morning by thanking Ron. As a mayor, you're blessed with great community and civic leaders. And Ron fits that in every way, shape, and form. He is a man who has dedicated his life to the state of New Mexico, to the city of Albuquerque, to Native Americans, to tribal entities, to the Pueblos, for his whole life. And when we decided that it was time to bring this more to the forefront from a commission standpoint, and make it more than just an ordinance, and make it something that really will work for the community as a whole, I can think of no one better than Ron. So Ron, I want to say thank you for your leadership and your friendship. So thank you so much again. I also want to thank Mike Canfield as I get started this morning to be here at the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center. I can tell you, I walked in the door and I feel like I'm at home. I've been out here as a mayor. I've met with the Pueblo Council. We've had discussions. I send friends and family certainly here from a tourism standpoint. I think you're the number 2 right now tourist attraction in New Mexico. But it's not just a tourist thing. It's a celebratory place. It is a place where we talk about heritage and custom and culture and importance and collaboration. And I just feel so lucky. I really feel lucky when I'm meeting with mayors from around the country that I live in a place and I get to serve in a place that has this kind of leadership. Governor, it's great to see you again. But when you meet with the Pueblo governors and you meet with the nations that we have here, whether it's the Dene or Navajo Nation or Apache, these it's hard to put into words. It's just how special it is and how much it means to me personally. So I just want to say thank you for including me, and thank you for coaching in, for mentoring me, because we're here today to do important work. Ron hit on this a little bit ago. There's an ordinance at the city that says that there should be a Commission of Indian Affairs, and that is important. And it's important to have things on paper, and it's important to have things codified in code. But what's really important, in my opinion, is that we do it in a way that matters and in a way that is meaningful. Albuquerque has over 50,000 urban Native Americans, and these individuals come from an enormously diverse tribal background. Did I hear right recently over 200 different tribal entities? Over 300? Oh, you're saying 400 now. So it is an enormously diverse population. We are centered on our pueblos here, we're centered on our nations, but we also know that we have brothers and sisters in our community from all over, all different backgrounds. And from the standpoint of background on this a little bit, if you'll remember back in 2015 in August, we launched in my office a Native American task force, a homelessness task force, and that was in response to the horrific murders of Key Thompson and Allison Gorman. And that rocked our community, and it really, from a tragic standpoint, pointed to the need to do more. So I got in my car and I drove out, and I met the president of the Navajo Nation, and we talked about what we could do that would make a difference. And then I got on the phone and I talked with the Pueblo leadership, and we started this task force. And I want to thank Sherrick Roanhorse. He led up that task force for me, and he was on loan from P&M. And I want to thank P&M again for their community involvement, because they lent us Sherrick, and he's an awesome guy. And we came in and we worked on things that we thought would matter. And that task force came up with 14 recommendations, one of those being a reconstitution, and I'll call a reinvigoration of this commission that we have today. To lead to awareness, to lead to services. On top of that, we started having some things that I personally attended, one of them, cultural awareness seminars in our community. As we work with our police department and our fire department, and we work with our first responders, we know that it's important to have cultural sensitivity, because as we're working with people in need in our community, it's important that we equip our first responders with that knowledge. I went to that, and it was one of the most amazing things that I've been to as a mayor. And I want to thank the team that helped us with that. So we want to make sure that we have a positive awareness of our citizenry. We want to make sure that we have a real roadmap and a group of professional individuals who are willing to make these recommendations. And I want to thank Mr. Writing, William Writing in with us today, Lori Wiaki, thank you so much. Mike Canfield, as I said, Dr. Lloyd Lee, thank you, sir. And then, of course, Ron Solomon. We have important work to do. And we are going to make sure that this reconstituted commission gets that work done. And once again, I want to thank Sherrick for the work that he did. Let's be intentional. Let's use this as an opportunity to work on difficult issues. Sometimes issues that are difficult to talk about. Sometimes issues that are difficult to manage. But let's also use this as an opportunity to bring our community together and to talk about the richness that we have here. It is just, it's amazing, and I think this group of people and professionals and leaders are going to help us do that. They're going to help me be a better mayor. I think they're going to help our community and our city council make better decisions, and they're going to make sure that our community is seen the way it should be seen, and that is a place that is welcoming to all Native Americans, a place where Native Americans can live, can be safe, can thrive, can raise their families in their traditions, a place that honors the Native American tradition, because that is what makes us what we are. And so thank you for letting me play a small part in this. We will make sure that this commission is up and running and ready for your next mayor to come in about a year and take that over. And so I'm proud of everybody's efforts, and we have a lot of work to do. But it's a good day to get started. So, no swearing in, Ron.
All right.
But you're already in. But thank you, everyone, for your leadership, and thank you so much.